chance to see Jan, you'll feel instantly the vibrancy of her. She's got all these books behind her and her red glasses and her bright spirit. And a big shout out to her husband, who proudly represented in our Zoom chat today. We love husbands who really support their wives. Okay, so Women's Federation for World Peace USA hereby recognizes Jan Whalen on this day, June 24th, 2023. We honor your commitment to making an impact in the lives of others by your nurturing and encouraging spirit to help them find their voice through their life experiences and sharing their stories, and in so doing, creating a community of change. We applaud your service to the community filled with love and compassion. Congratulations to Jan. It is our great honor to give you the HerStory Award, and we welcome you at this time to share your story and your words of wisdom for all of us. Congratulations.
Well, thank you so much. I am truly humbled. Thank you, Glenda, for nominating me. And especially when I hear Julie and Elizabeth's story, it's hard to compose myself because they are truly powerful women making a change. And I just love that. I love women's stories. I guess when I think of my story, I think of 3 challenges, and yet those 3 challenges actually are opportunities. And so I will share them with you. The first challenge was that I am the oldest of 8. And that meant that my youth was spent on a lot of caring of siblings and not a lot of fun. And it was a little bit lonely because I didn't really feel a part of the group as much as I felt in charge of the group. And yet later, I discovered that I'm very comfortable with people of any age, and that I can, lead in committees and different kinds of groups, workshops. And so I really have to say, thank you, Mom and Dad, for your choices. So the second challenge was really quite serious, and it is that I missed a month of first grade. Now, in my day, first grade was the time where you learned how to read. And so, as you can guess, I was not a very good reader. And I didn't really connect of being missing from school with that. I just remember I didn't get a holy card for reading a sheet perfectly. So, but anyway, I was thinking to myself, I don't think you're very smart, and you're just not as good as other people. And so that was a feeling that I carried with me for a long time. But later, fast forward to a time when I was in college, I was undecided. And I went with a girlfriend to the lab school at our college. She was going to be a teacher. And when I looked at the second grade teacher teaching, I thought, you know what, I could do that. And so I taught 6th grade for several years. And you might not be surprised about this, remedial reading and human relations was a topic I got to teach at a community college in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And later, I created a program called Character Safari. Now, what this was is we trained teenagers to think about what made them successful in high school. And they would go down to the elementaries and middle schools and talk about their values and how to survive high school, because, high school can be sort of a jungle. And I'll never forget this one day. I took 6 of my Character Safari guides into the chamber office, the Cedar Rapids area Chamber of Commerce, for the education meeting. And those kids, they just were, they made a presentation and they were so confident, they were so poised, and everybody listened with, the most attention as they told the adults how you inspire children. And I was standing in the side and I said to myself, this is the best speech of your life. And 20 years later, it really still is. So all of these education things has to do with the self-esteem that I probably have struggled with, and might even have a little bit of residual self-esteem issues today. So, but again, as well-seasoned women, we have our ways to cope. Now, the last challenge was about my vision, and it's a little more complicated. When I was 18, I thought, well, I'm just going to get married and have a lot of kids, and I'll be a housewife just like mom. The only problem was that the boy I was going to marry was now Ross McCollum. Actually, I found out he was cheating on me. And so, I didn't know what to do because I had no plan B. And so I started to follow what called to me. And I went crazy. I was like a sheep in a meadow, just testing everything. I moved 39 times. I have in my lifetime belonged to 6 different Christian denominations. I worked with many types of jobs. I was divorced to my first husband and married Ross. After teaching several years, I was a presentation coach and then a book shepherd. I wrote my first book in 2011. It's called Rock Solid Confidence. And then I went on to write 3 more books. Then I created a line of greeting cards. So whenever I start a project, I get so excited and think, this is it. This is it. This is my purpose. And I would love to have one purpose, but it was not to be. It was sort of like climbing several hills, but never quite getting to the top of any one. I am so thankful for the mentors I had and the support that I had from my 7 siblings. Thank you, Mom and Dad again. Teachers, actually both husbands, and my 2 children in their own unique ways. So many people were there to tell me what the next right thing would be, as Michael J. Fox would say. And through paying attention, helping authors, earning my black belt in Taekwondo and a Master of Arts in Servant Leadership, I finally got it. My epiphany came one day when I was reading a poem called When You Look at the Stars and Yawn. And there were 3 lines that Aaron Zeitling had said. Every time I read these lines, I swear I can hear God's thunderous voice. And here are the 3 lines. If you look at the stars and yawn, if you see suffering and don't cry out, then I have created you in vain. Pretty heavy. But what I think it means for me personally is that I need to use my voice. My job, doesn't really matter what I do, but my real job is to see them, to see the people who are in my world, to comfort their worries and pain, and to tell them about their gifts and their talents, because a lot of times, we need that. We don't know that. To let them know they are worthy, special, and loved, and to be a light to help them bloom and grow. And that's pretty much it. So I will continue with this mission through the story coaching, my volunteer work in my PEO group and the Florence Crittenton organizations, with my soul to soul workshops coming up this fall for, again, well-seasoned women, and a new book coming out where Chili Millie will be featured. And coincidentally, she's a woman who does not mind speaking her mind. The most important discovery I made that these 3 challenges and any others I've had drive my passion for serving. So today I am filled with hope and gratitude. And after hearing the other 2 stories, a lot of humility. Words can't express how grateful I am that I am included in this list. And I thank President Kaylee for Uni, Katerina, Ms. Glenda, Grace, and everybody else in the organization for all the things that you do for the world. And for those of you who took the time to be here today for this ceremony, it's, there's lots of things to do, but it really means a lot to all of us. And so I would just end with saying, may God continue to bless your work.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jan. That was great. Wonderful. I feel from you, the message is really, and also from the other 2 speakers, awardees, it's not important like what we do. More important is with the heart that we do it with. And, you're just heart of, you've done so many different things as you were listing them out. I'm sure there were many others that you couldn't get to, but you really found a way to use your voice and, uplift others in whatever